Hello and welcome everyone. It is time for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, May the 18th. It is Friday, May the 13th. I'm putting this out, yes, on Friday the 13th. I hope everybody has a safe and happy Friday the 13th today. As usual, I want to say you're all awesome, and thanks for tuning in. And if you follow me on Instagram, thanks for following me there. I just love talking comics, as you know, and you're getting a collector's perspective, so that's what you get. Anyways, we'll talk about what I'm looking at this week. I've also got some books that Marvel's releasing in July and a couple in August, and talk about some movie stuff and TV stuff and all that kind of jazz. So we'll get going into it. From DC this week, one I'm looking at is Shadow War #1. Bunch of covers for that. What I really like, John Boy Myers is doing the cover A. It's not as nice as its the first issue, which was I kind of like this Alpha one better, but anyways, talk about that in a second. And then Angel Breaker is on cover C, which is a nice cover. I like that one. I don't know that I'm going to chase it because it is an incentive, and who knows what they're asking for it, but friendly reminder, I know you all know this, but you did get your first appearance of Angel Breaker in this Alpha, so it's definitely one to hang on to. You got her there on the last page. She has a couple images in this book. She's on a few pages here. She's on that page there, and you also see her, her sword there. I know this came out a few weeks back, or well, probably a month ago now, so good one to have, though. If you don't have it, try to pick one up, because you never know where she's going to go. Well, yeah, I am getting Shadow War Zone #1 is out this week. Probably I'm just getting cover A. That's it from DC. For Marvel, got Iron Fist #3. Only 2 covers for that one. And remember, folks, a lot of times issue 3, 4, they drop something in there. Not saying they're going to, but stick with Iron Fist for a bit, because I know issue 1, it's human nature. Issue 1s sell really well. If you look at sales on any comic books, usually issue 1 is up there, and then by #2 it drops. It's almost cut in half, and it'll kind of plateau at that for quite a while. So if they're going to drop something in, it's usually not in issue 1. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's down the road. Savage Avengers #1 is out. Ton of covers for this. I'm only going to show the one. Whole bunch of characters. It's basically a new team. So it's Conan, Daredevil, Deathlock. Got Deathlock first appearance in book comics too. Cloak and Dagger, Weapon H, Anti-Venom, Black Knight. That's kind of the new team. So they're basically trying to revitalize the Savage Avengers. I don't know if I'm gonna get #1, and we'll see where it goes. But this book it's funny. This book is there's nothing special with this book for. I mean, well, it's his first appearance, but I don't know if that character's ever going to do much. It's just I've had it for years and years, and it sits there at it was at like $20-40 for the longest time. Then it got hot for a while. There was rumors of Deathlock and everything else, and then it cooled down. Then it got hot again, cooled down. So who knows? But I do like the cover. I love those covers with yellow and stuff on it. It is kind of a cool cover. And then obviously you've got Totally Awesome Hulk 22 is your first full appearance of Weapon H. That's one. If you don't have that one, the prices have really cooled off on that. If that's something you're interested in, anyways, it might be worth picking up a copy. I got a few of those. Another one from Marvel this week, Star Wars Dr. Aphra #20. 3 covers for this one. You should really pay attention to this one, because in issue 19, Dr. Aphra ended up going to the chamber. Shit, I can't remember the name of it. Hang on one second, I gotta find my book. And Dr. Aphra #19, right at the end, they end up at this giant sanctum, and it's all to deal with the Spark Eternal. And reading the solicitations for, so the sanctum is kind of the heart, and I'm pretty sure it's a Sith creation. And if you read so it looks like Dr. Aphra is going to get tainted by the Spark Eternal and potentially either gain some new powers, or in reading solicitation, the Spark Eternal kind of corrupts everything it touches. So I'll show image for 21, which is on the screen now. It talks a little bit about it, and then also 22. So something's happening in this. So I would pay attention, because I don't know if she's, like I say, you know it's not going to end up killing her or whatever, but she potentially down the road could gain some new powers from it, or she, who knows, but just pay attention to Dr. Aphra is, I guess, the point I'm trying to make here. Anything Star Wars right now, man, you really got to pay attention to it, because there's just so much happening, and it's all kind of canon, so and that's the big thing, because they've gone, all the Star Wars comics for years were just stories they would write and whatever, but now everything is so series driven and movie driven that you really got to pay attention to it. Talking about Star Wars, the other one from them this week is Han Solo and Chewbacca #2. 3 covers for that. Definitely going to pick that one up. Thor #25, a shit ton of covers for this one. I'm just going to show cover A. You pick what you want. I kind of dumped on Donny Cates last last video, and I'm a huge Donny Cates fan, so I shouldn't have done that. But I don't know if anything big's going to happen in this Thor #25, but it is part of that Banner War miniseries kind of thing, and there's rumor that the Black Winter may be coming back and stuff. So yes, it's worth paying attention to. I'm gonna pick it up. I may have dropped it, but I'm picking it back up again. I do that at times. Last one, and this for me is just a cover by. It's X-Men Red #2. It's cover B. It's a Torrin Clark cover. It's kind of a cool looking cover. I like the look of it, so I'm not chasing that if the price is stupid, but if I can find one for cover price, I will definitely buy it. So a few things coming down the road. Oh, sorry, I gotta give my my picks for the week, because I'll do that first. Not a ton this week. What the heck did I have here? I had Star Wars Dr. Aphra #20, because I think something's coming with Dr. Aphra in that. Savage Avengers #1. That's more of an honorable mention, just because it is a first team appearance of all those characters. Whether that is anything down the road, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna get that. And then Shadow War Zone #1 is also honorable mention as well. There's not a huge ton of books this week that I'm going crazy over, but there's a few good ones in there. For July, for Marvel, some good ones coming. You got Amazing Spider-Man #7. Looks like you got a new Oscorp Spidey suit and a glider. And he's also on the cover of #8 wearing it and everything, so it might be worth looking at those. Avengers 1,000,000 BC. You got your Secret Origin of Thor coming, and that's kind of why I got my Marvel Legacy here. It's all that million-year BC stuff. Actually, I didn't mind that story. It's pretty good. Daredevil #2. I mean, you obviously want to get one, but #2, I'm just talking about July solicitations. And the thing with Daredevil, it was such a good series. And you got to remember, in issue #26, you had that connecting covers with Elektra and Daredevil, and that is your first appearance of Alice, that young girl who Elektra ends up training, and nothing's really happened with her. She was in like 3 or 4 issues right after, and she's living with Elektra, and Elektra's starting to, kind of give her some training and stuff. And I really think that at some point she's going to be coming along as a sidekick, so it's one you really want to pay attention to. And there was a second print for that 26. It's a nice cover too. So if you happen to have that one, or you don't have it, and if you find that cheap in the back issue bins, that's one to look for. Again, folks, I spec on a lot of books, but I really, if the price has gone from cover price to $50-$60 on a newer book, you've kind of missed the boat, and there will always be a hot book the following week, so don't panic. But this is one, and the fun thing about spec is if you can find it for cover price, or even in the back issue bins at half price or whatever at some of your shops, man, it's like finding Waldo on one of those pages. But yeah, look for this #26 second print, because it's obviously a very much lower print run than the first print. So, and nobody was really paying attention to that, because that was during that King in Black series, and I don't know that everybody was into that. And that is your first full appearance of Alice, so really good one to get. Try to find that second print if you can. And then obviously 25, as you know, was your first Elektra becoming Daredevil. And it looks like she's going to be sticking around as Daredevil. I mean, I thought it was going to be for a few issues until Daredevil got out of prison and the whole bit. But no, she's sticking around that way. So that's one that if you don't have it, and the price is kind of cooled off on that, if you can find one for a good price, recommend getting that one. Anyways, a bit of a divergence. Whole point of that is pay attention to that Daredevil series. I'm not sure if Zdarsky's doing it. I've heard that he's only doing the first story arc, so like the first 6 issues, and then somebody else is taking over. We'll have to see about that. But anyways, either way, I don't know. But looks good. Hulk number 9 again. Donny Cates, I kind of crapped on him, but it's the start of a new story arc called Hulk Planet. And right in solicitation it says, who is Monolith? So I don't know if we've got a new character called Monolith or not, but either way, pay attention to Hulk. Damn it, I guess I gotta put that back in my pull list. I just took it off too. Gwenverse number 5, the last part of that 5-part miniseries. It talks about the end of time and faces the one who started it all. So are we getting, I don't know what's happening there, but as usual, a lot of people, when they get to the end of some of these mini series, they forget about them or don't buy them, and then look, as you know, look what happened to Spiderverse number 6. So yeah, try to pay attention to that number 5 when that comes out. That's in July. Miles number 40. I mean, what do I need to say about Miles Morales? It's a pretty good series. The whole thing with Billy and everything else, Spider-Catcher and all that stuff. The only thing is, in the solicitation says, does Miles sacrifice new allies to save his family? So because we're in a different multiverse, are they all going to be left behind or get killed or whatever? Or are they going to come through and back to, who knows, we'll see. But Miles is on my pull list, so I'm getting it no matter what. I showed this What If Miles Morales number 5 in my last video. It was just because that's where it looks like all the different versions of Miles are going to assemble. So are they assembling into one character, like a mashup? Or are they assembling into like a Miles Avengers team-up kind of thing? So we'll have to see, but that would be worth getting. Predator number 1, that is out as well, and this will be, it's not Predator's first appearance in comics. Dark Horse, I've got it. I was looking for that book and I couldn't find it. Somewhere in my collection, but got a few copies of it. But Predator number 1 from way back in the day by Dark Horse's first appearance in comics. But this will be Marvel's version of Predator, so we'll see where that goes. Probably worth getting that because you never know what Marvel's going to do with it down the road. Disney Plus, all that. As long as they don't Disneyfy it and turn it into some lame-ass show. But anyways, and then the big one for this one's for August. A lot of people have been messaging on Instagram about this in the last day or so. It's Edge of Spiderverse. It's a 5-part miniseries that comes out. There's a whole bunch of new characters. I'll put the covers, some of the covers and the images on the screen as I'm talking here. So you've got... they've already, right in the solicitation for it, they say there's a bunch of new characters coming and everything else. So anything Spider-Verse, as you know, worth getting. The problem is, this one is going to be printed pretty large because some of the other ones have snuck up on people, especially the last one. So they were pretty low print runs with some good stuff happening, and that's, you know, obviously why the prices jumped way up, especially the second prints of that. This one I don't think is going to take anybody by surprise, but still a very good one to get because you are getting a whole bunch of new characters and stuff in that. So, and that's a 5-part miniseries that comes out in August. So definitely worth getting that on your pull list if you can. And then I just posted about Disney Star Wars show last night. So I'm going to talk about that. It's called The Acolyte, and this is supposed to begin filming in this year, I don't know, next few months kind of thing, August, July, whatever, July, August, September, somewhere there. It's Leslie Headland's going to be directing this. What really intrigues me about this is Acolyte in Star Wars refers to individuals with Force abilities who learn from a more experienced Sith Lord. So, and what's really cool is this story is set at the end of the High Republic era. So, yeah, I'm really excited about this because. And I've got to show it. If you've seen my Instagram, you know where I'm going with this. This is centered around a female protagonist in this, and Amandla Stenberg was signed on to play the lead character, and I'm going to put her image on the screen right now. And if she isn't a dead ringer for Keeve Trennis, I don't know what to tell you. So, yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee in anything, folks. I mean. This is all speculation, and the thing with speculation is, and I was listening to Mel V and Brian and those guys in the last week, They were talking about speculation too, and they made a really good point. I mean, speculation is basically an educated guess. You're taking all the little breadcrumbs that they lay out there, and you're trying to piece it together. And we're all adults, and you got to make an educated choice here, because you know a lot of these things make sense, and then don't pan out. I mean, look at all the spec on Doctor Strange that people were doing. I didn't get into any of that at all, because that's not. Yeah, I just didn't want to do that one. But anyways, but the thing with this one that makes a lot of sense is Project Luminous was started years ago, and it started with novels, and Keith Trennis was a main character. They had, as you know, I did my Star Wars video, and I talked about Keith Trennis. And in that deleted scene from one of the movies, they have a bust of Trennis in it. It doesn't say her first name, but it is. I mean, it's her. Come on, you know. And Yoda talks about how it's a sad story. So this storyline, and then obviously right into the comics with Keith Trennis being one of the main characters and everything else, and then running into Darth Krall midway through and having visions, and you see her as a bronze statue. I covered all this, but you know. They've got plans for her, so it's, to me, it's either going to be a story about Keith Trennis and her how she becomes part of the Lost 20, why she leaves the Jedi Order and goes off and does whatever, and I still think she's going to turn to the dark side. Either that, or it's her in her later years, and she has children, and one of her children. Maybe she has a daughter who you know gets turned to the dark side, and then you know that's the sad story as she tries to go find her family, and who knows what it is, or it's flashbacks or something. But either way, I really think this Star Wars High Republic #1 is such a good book to get. It's been a good book for a long time, because it's not just Keith Trennis. You get first full appearance of, you get Ever, Chris, and Skier, and you know, you cameos, a bunch of other people in there as well. So really, really good book. Obviously, there's the second print, which is a really good one to get. There's the third print. There was 5 printings of this. I've only got the first 3. I just ordered the 4th printing, which I'll put an image on the screen, because it's Keith Trennis on the cover, but and she's been on, I mean, obviously she's on the cover of #2 and #1, so it's not like it's her first cover appearance, but it is, again, as these printings go along, they become lower and lower print runs, because people, just human nature, they stop, I got the first few, so they don't buy them, but #4 and #5 are good ones to get. The thing with 4, which is cool, it's basically her, just her on the cover, so it's kind of a, not that that's a major major thing, but I like the cover. It's just a cool looking cover, so I'm getting it. I ordered a couple of those. They're dirt cheap. They're basic cover price. So just, again, highly recommend you get these, because once these shows come out, and they are coming, don't kid yourself, they are coming. Get these books now while they're cheap and you can afford them. Put them away, hang on to them. May take a few years. Have patience. So but anyways, that Acolyte really intrigues me. I think that's going to be an interesting show. I'm really looking forward to that one, especially because it ties in the High Republic era. And not only is it going to be potentially Keith Trennis, but who else is going to show up in there from the Star Wars High Republic, which could tie in other series down the road. And yeah, there's just, I can't wait. I just really can't wait. So, and then there was also one other one, Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic. This one, it's pretty sure it's been put on hold. Gina Carano was going to be part of that, and I know there was mention of a potential kind of a Guardians of the Galaxy type action series in the Star Wars world. Some people were thinking that's like the Knights of Ren, that kind of stuff. Personally, I don't think that's what I think this would be. That would be kind of more of a mishmash of different characters along the lines of Carano's character, maybe a bunch of other mercenary kind of characters getting together and doing adventures throughout the galaxy kind of thing. That's how I envision. I think when they do Knights of Ren, it's going to be called the Knights of Ren, so everybody knows what the hell it is. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that in there. But if that does come along, that could be a pretty good show as well. Just want to finish off on Bloodborne, my free comic book day. I can't remember if I showed this in my last video or not, but I did get my free comic book day of that. I showed the first print of issue number 1 that I had, and I was digging through my box and I found the second print. I didn't even realize I had it. that's a problem when you have so many comics. You're like, oh shit, I got that one too. But anyways, yeah, there is a second print of that, and it's just a black and white, but it's, again, a lower print run because the first issue was only, I think, 6,000 or 6,700 or something. I don't even know what this one is, but it's going to be, I would guess, probably under 1,000 or around 1,000. So, man, if you're ever out and about looking through back issue bins and you see that, pick it up. That's all I can say. Anyways, folks, that's all you got. I've been rambling on here. If you don't have Star Wars High Republic, if there's any of those books you're missing, they got hot. They were really hot for a while. The series has ended, and now people are paying attention to other stuff. So these have cooled off a little bit, but not a ton. But if there's any of those you're missing, man, pick them up. That's all I can say. You just pick them up. There you go. Anyways, folks, not a huge week of books this week. There are some good ones out there. We've got more good ones coming again down the road. So that's all I got for you this week. Take care. Happy hunting. I will talk to you next week. Bye for now.